King Misuzulu Zwelithini is leading a group of royal family members and amabutho as he undertakes a ritual hunt. This forms part of this weekend's activities at Royal Palace in Nongoma. Senior reporter Sipamandla Goge is on the ground and joins me now live. Sipamandla, perhaps you speak to us about the latest developments and what happens from this point onwards.
Indeed. Well, the delegation now led by King Misuzulu Zwelithini is leaving Kwakhangela Mankengane Royal Palace, going on a traditional hunt known as Ukpuminqina, and they will go and hunt, come back with the animals that they would have hunted. This is the beginning now of that traditional ceremony known as Inqina. As you see, AmaZulu King Misuzulu Zwelithini flanked by his brothers there and senior princes. I see there is Prince Bambindlovu, there is also Prince Simingaye, and the gentleman wearing a blue jacket is Prince Bizwekaya on my right. Those are senior members of the royal family, and also I see Prince Tulani. So this delegation led by the king comprises of mainly of senior princes and members of the royal family. They are going on a hunt, and once they come back, then they will continue. When they come back, then we'll continue with the ceremony, which will lead to tomorrow's Ihlambo, which is the cleansing ceremony, basically the washing of the late King Goodwill Zwelithini Zulu's traditional weapons. And once all of that has been done, that will be step number one cleared out of the way. There will then be another step number two, which will include, in a way, a traditional event whereby the king will have to formally enter the kraal. When he enters the kraal, then that will signal that the coronation is imminent. So this weekend is mainly about the hunting ritual known as Ukpuminqina, where a group of AmaZulu men led by the king and senior princes are going out for a hunt. And then tomorrow it's Ihlambo, the cleansing ceremony that will be led by the king himself. And once that cleansing ceremony is done and dusted, then there will be, of course, during that process, there will be the washing of the traditional weapons. And then when those traditional weapons have been washed, then King Misuzulu Zwelithini then will be given those traditional weapons of his late father. And then, I'm told that the delegation will turn and then come our way. And then what will happen is tomorrow it will be the process of Ihlambo, and these ceremonies are very strategic simply because they mean that that government-led public coronation will take place at some point. It will take place at some point from here. We are told that it's imminent, probably a couple of months from now, that coronation ceremony will take place, as my colleague Joko Mane and Bongamkize are showing you these live visuals of King Misuzulu Zwelithini leading members of the royal family and amabutho as they are going on a traditional hunt. And then that's what will happen, is that after this, then they will go to hunt. That will be a private ceremony, a private affair. Members of the media are not allowed for that. But tomorrow, during the public event, everyone is allowed and welcomed to the palace. So this is the official start of the traditional hunt or the ritual hunt known as Ukpuminqina.
Sipamandla, I'm wondering if you can go into further detail, if you know, with regards to the significance of this traditional hunt. We do know that this is possibly a new chapter for the royal palace and the royal house. But what is the actual significance of this hunt, and what is actually hunted?
A number of animals that are hunted, it depends what they find when they go for that hunt, really. But the significance of it is that for them to go out on a hunt, they need to come back with what they would have hunted, declare that here inside the palace. Those are the animals that, of course, will be served to senior members of the royal family and the other people who would have joined there. So basically what happens is during Inqina, they go hunt, and that includes a number of things that they will hunt. It depends what they find when they are busy with their hunt. So they will come back with that, and then they will declare that, and during the process that will take place, then once all of that is done, then they will continue to phase 2 of the traditional ceremony, which will involve then ihlambo. So those are key 2 ceremonies that are undertaken by the king, and it's something that happens, for all, heads of families. Let's say a head of the family has departed. Ihlambo, which is the cleansing ceremony, is always performed when you are basically ending that period of mourning, and you are remembering the departed, a male person in this case, the late, that is King Zwelithini Goodwill Zulu. So that is what will be happening. Those are ceremonies that are performed, and these are key in a sense that you cannot continue with your royal program and activities without undergoing these processes. However, there are some members of the Zulu royal family who say these have been performed, and what is happening right now is just a comic exercise. That's simply because there are deep divisions within the family itself. I think on Thursday there was a media briefing that was called by the siblings of the late King Goodwill Zwelithini Zulu, who said, well, those ceremonies have been performed. What is happening right now is just a waste of time. However, according to AmaZulu traditional Prime Minister Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, it's only the king as the head of the family who can give a mandate for these ceremonies to be performed, and he is the one who can lead the performance of these ceremonies. So that is what is happening at the palace today, Kwakhangela Mankengane Royal Palace, as the king leading this delegation of the senior princes and amabutho. There will be a delegation of amabutho, not a large delegation because this is a private affair. Very few people will be joining the king, but mainly members of AmaZulu royal family. So these ceremonies are key and strategic in a sense that without them you cannot continue with other processes, including planning for the coronation.
Speak to us, Sipamandla, about these divisions. We do know time and time again that the divisions within the royal household have been brought to light. And I'm wondering, possibly not, because we are seeing these rituals taking place, but if at all there was an attempt to stop these rituals from taking place, and if it has affected the rituals at all.
Sorry, can you repeat that for me? I didn't get it.
You've spoken about the divisions within the royal household, and many would say that there would have been some kind of attempt to stop these rituals from taking place. Have we seen any of that, and do you suspect that there could be any further attempts to stop these rituals from taking place?
Well, we are not aware of any attempts to stop these rituals from taking place, but let me tell you that there are people who have said that, well, what is happening is basically a comic exercise because it has already been done. You will have to bear with us as we are chasing a moving convoy here, but I am not aware of any attempts to stop and halt these processes that are taking place this weekend. However, there are people who have registered their unhappiness and who have said that, well, there is no need for these ceremonies because they have already been performed. However, the king and Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi are clear that these ceremonies can only be sanctioned by the king. But in terms of the divisions within the Zulu royal family, remember that there are ongoing court cases that are underway. There are some who are contesting President Cyril Ramaphosa's decision to recognize King Misuzulu as the rightful heir to the throne. And there are those who have applied for leave to appeal the judgment of the Pietermaritzburg High Court, and that is to dismiss all the applications that were launched there, including trying to halt the upcoming coronation. So divisions within the Zulu royal family are known, and divisions are still visible even as we speak. As yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, or 2 days ago, some members of the Zulu royal family have said that, well, they will continue their fight.
Okay, thank you so much for that update, Siphamandla Goge. We're going to let you get to where you need to be without needing to do this live crossing. We'll definitely check in with you a little later on. Still